ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Morgado Show Unleashed. I'm your host, Morgado. This is yet another episode, and I have been promising this episode for quite some time now. And today I'm going to be doing a whole bunch of reviews. I've actually got no Facebook Live, no interruptions. I've actually got all the files here, all the names here. And what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to edit. I know I said I was never going to edit these videos, but obviously I'm editing them now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pop up the movie photos in this area here so you can see what movies I'm talking about, and it's a nice clear image as opposed to using the screen and then everything gets all dark and weird. This will keep the picture nice and clean, and on top of that you'll be able to see a nice image of the film that I'm going to talk about. I do have a few movies to talk about. I don't know exactly how many, but I got here 2, 4, 6, 8, 9. 9 times. Ferris Bueller's reference. Okay, so I'm just gonna go at random here. They're not well, they are in alphabetical order, but I might actually just do it in alphabetical order, but or not. You know, what I might do. Actually, I'm gonna save because everybody's been questioning this whole Black Panther thing, so I'm going to save that to the end, even though I mentioned it on last night's episode of the Morgado Show, which we were Facebook Live for that. And when I post that, I'm going to put the video together with the audio from the recorded show, so this way it's nice and clean audio. Because a lot of times what happens with Facebook Live, and it's sort of irritating, the volume for some weird reason goes up and down, especially when there's people that connect. The volume on my end turns to total garbage, and then you can hear them perfectly, but then after they disconnect, the volume is still shitty on my end, which is weird. And I don't understand why that is. But anyways, this is a nice clean copy. As I mentioned before in the previous video, here's my camera. Rest in peace. My beautiful camera I had for over 10 years. And died on me a few weeks ago. This one I'm using right now was always my backup camera. I was lucky enough to purchase some on Boxing Day many years ago. This one has lasted me just as long, but I rarely use the camera that I'm using right now. Obviously this is now going to be my regular camera. Until the day comes when this one starts to die, then guess what? I'm going to have to purchase a new one. And with the advancement on cameras nowadays, dude, I'm probably better off getting a GoPro or something, like, with all the technology and stuff. So here we go. The first movie I'm going to talk about, and I'm actually clearing up the room here, so you can see the photo, is Downsizing with Matt Damon. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. I saw the trailer for this movie, and I had very high expectations. It looked really cool. It looked really entertaining. With the cast involved, I thought it was going to be a comedy. None of the above. The premise of the film was brilliant, and they actually cast a few awesome people in the movie. I mean, my favorite was Christoph Waltz. I love the guy. He's an incredible actor. Unfortunately, the movie just did not... I don't think it lived up to the expectations that I sort of had, because I saw it as more of a comedy, not a drama. And if you look at the trailer, it looks like a comedy. You would never expect it. And you know, they downsize people. That's pretty much the premise of it. But once they downsize, I'm sorry, I gotta say this. I guess spoiler, if you want to call it that. I don't really call it a spoiler, but you now see it from their perspective. So everything looks normal. Even though they're like, you know, like 5 inches apparently. Okay, 5 inches, sorry. They're like that big. You see everything from their perspective. So after initially the beginning, incredible. Like you're watching, you're like, oh, right on. And then it's like, oh, they went there? I'm sorry, but the expectation level, like I said, I had a lot higher than it actually turned out to be. So out of 5, which I normally give 5-star rating, and you're going to actually see it pop up now. Why not? I'm editing. Fuck it. I actually give this video, you ready? Special effects, it was pretty impressive. Fuck. I want to say 3, but I want to say 4. Right? Like, it was good, but it wasn't amazing. You know what? I'll give it a 4. Sure. I might regret that decision, but 4. Especially if you guys are depending on my reviews. I don't know if you... You know what? Watch it. You know, I mean, like I've always said before, form your own opinion. I've said that since episode 1. So yeah, okay, sure, yeah, I'll give it a 4. Yeah. I know I said a lot of bad things about it, but it was entertaining for the first half. And the movie itself was a good concept. Once a certain actress gets involved, it sort of takes a downward spiral. I don't want to give 3.5. Alright, fuck it, 4. Yeah, we'll keep it at 4. Sure. For Matt Damon. Actually, the 4 goes for Christoph Waltz. How about that? Now I feel better. Whew. Okay, so, next movie on the list. Fuck. Yeah. Not a big fan. Dunkirk. No. I mean, I've seen a lot of war films, and up to about, I think, a year ago, I saw probably my favorite war film of all time, Hacksaw Ridge, and then I saw Saving Private Ryan after that, and it didn't blow up my skirt. Why? Because Hacksaw Ridge was such an incredible fucking movie. I actually gave that movie a 6 out of 5, and obviously meaning that it's way better than, you know, ever expected. So, Dunkirk, one of my friends put it best. I forget who it was right now in one of the live sessions we did. He said that it was sort of an artsy-fartsy interpretation of a war film. So it was very almost like, that's the best way to put it, artsy-fartsy. Didn't impress me at all. I didn't like this movie. I really didn't like it. I was so disappointed. Like, I expected, because I had seen, actually, they had a veteran who they interviewed. He was wearing his uniform to the theater. I don't know if you guys saw this story. And he came walking out, and someone actually interviewed him of his thoughts, and he said that it made him burst into tears. I could see, why. Obviously, he was involved in the situation, but I can see why from a perspective that they try to push it out of you, but I'm sitting there, I'm like, you know what, it's too late, you already fucked up the fucking movie. So, you know what, I'm sorry, I'm gonna give this movie a fucking 1. That's how disappointed I was. And not because of the expectation level, but how bad it was done. Especially considering it was a Chris Nolan film. Didn't like it. I'm sorry, just didn't like it. So, there you go. 1. Alright, goodbye. Alright, next movie, Friends with Kids. When the movie initially started, I thought it was going to be, kind of my mindset, because I'm not really a big fan of children, and that's why I'm together with Shannon, because her and I, we both see eye to eye. We're not really children fans, if you want to put it that way. But this movie went against pretty much all I expected. This is already my 3rd expectation level, but when I saw the film, it was definitely a very interesting concept. Very interesting concept. But it ended up being... I've used this expression before, and I'll explain it real quick in case it's the first time you're watching. It ended up being a movie. And what that means basically is happy ending, but it wasn't really a happy... Well, it was, but it wasn't like... It wasn't a tearjerker. It was definitely a chick flick, if you want to call it that. I don't even think I would even classify it as a chick flick, but I guess, yeah, but the movie itself, there were a couple of entertaining scenes, it was a good story movie, though, I must admit. I was into it. I actually got into this movie, and I'm like, oh, cool. I hope they don't fuck up the ending. I hope they don't. And then there was a fucking movie. I'm like, ah, you know what I mean? It's like, the one that comes to mind is, The X or something like that. The one with Vince Vaughn and, The Breakup. That movie was well done because of the fact that, they built up this big breakup. I don't want to spoil the ending, but it was a movie ending, but no, because you're like, oh, okay, all right, right? If you guys have seen the movie, you'll understand what I'm talking about. But the breakup was a lot better executed than this one. What was this one called again? Sorry, Friends with Kids. Sorry, the picture's right there, but obviously it's an imaginary. See, I'm like going right behind it right now. So what do I give this one out of 5? I'd say a 3. Sure, 3. I'll give it a 3. It wasn't bad. It was entertaining. The story was well executed. The ending was a little weak, but it was well executed throughout. And I sat there and I was like, yeah, it's pretty good. It's a pretty good movie. So anyway, okay. So moving on. Geostorm. All right. Sorry, I don't mean I'm not coughing sarcastically, but Geostorm is the next movie on my list. I saw this one with my lady, and she really wanted to see this one. Me, not so much. I'm not a big fan of disaster films, and I gotta say, this one was... shit. Another shitty fucking movie. Like, I'm sorry, but it was just a badly executed fucking, not enough disaster. I'm sorry, but not enough. You know, if you're gonna do a disaster film, at least have disaster throughout the fucking movie. You know what I'm saying? And, I mean... No, this one just didn't really do it for me. So star rating, I'd say a 2. 2, yeah. Yeah, 2. I just wasn't impressed. So there you go. See, I've been watching some bad fucking movies lately. All right. Actually, not really. Hidden Figures. I'm gonna go off on this one for a second, but don't let that dissuade you from the fact that yes, I think Hidden Figures was a very, very good movie. It was a well-told story. I'm not really the biggest believer in the space program. I'm sort of one of those conspiracy guys. I don't really think about the moon landing, blah, blah, blah. I liked the movie. Don't get me wrong, because I'm going to go on a little bit of a rant here. Well, not really a rant per se, but I have my complaints. Okay. I understand the film was done during a time period when it was rough for black people. I got that within the first fucking 5 minutes of the movie. Don't keep harping on it throughout the entire fucking movie. Yes, there was an incredible scene in the middle of it. And for those of you who have seen the movie, you'll know that she's running back and forth to do something. And to see Kevin Costner, great performance by the way, and all the performers were incredible. It was a great film. I like the film a lot, but don't fucking keep pushing it. We get it. It was a struggle. I fucking get it. Sure, you can bring it up from time to time, but this one was constant. Again, don't let that dissuade you from my review. I thought the film was very good. Very good. As a matter of fact, rating, I will give it a 4. That's right. This movie was entertaining. It was based on a true story, which I always like those type of films, and it was done well. It was very, very, very well done. I love the acting. Everybody did a great job. It was obviously based on a true story, like I said, but it was done. It was executed the way a story like that should be executed, but it could have done without the constant barrage, or I don't even know the word I'm trying to come up with, but the constant, like, beating you down, like, okay, I get it, sort of thing. Yes, that time, it was a tough time. Anyway, I'm sorry. But that was the feeling I got from it. Again, I gave it a 4, and I'm going to stick with that because of the fact that, yes, good film, very, very good film. Strong performance. Okay, so let's move on. Nocturnal Animals. I should actually have saved this one to the end. Nocturnal Animals. How do I put this? And I showed this to Shannon after I'd already seen it. And let's just put it this way. You really gotta fucking pay attention. You really do. Because this movie has so many deep meanings and things of that nature that you sort of like, you watch it and you're like, alright, I obviously missed something here. I actually had to go on YouTube and watch a video of this brilliant guy who explained the ending to me, because I'm like, I like it, but I gotta understand it, because, and when I saw it the second time, oh yeah, I understood that movie, because I saw the symbolism. I thought a very, 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 very well done film. Unbelievably well done. And I forget the actresses' names, but the casting was incredible, because the two main actresses' names, I don't have their names here available, and I'm sorry, but maybe I might, well, you'll see it on the picture. I'll pop up the name if you can't really see it, but they casted a girl who looks exactly like her, who is in the film, actually, the one who played Lois Lane in the Man of Steel film is the main actress, and the one that they cast as I would call her twin, and she's been mistaken. Apparently that girl has been mistaken, is the one from Wedding Crashers, the crazy chick that goes after Vince Vaughn. See, I remember his name, but I can't fucking remember her name. Anyway, so they casted the movie brilliantly, but I gotta warn you, okay? This is a warning for this particular movie. The beginning of the movie is the fucking weirdest shit I've ever seen. I was actually ready to turn the fucking movie off. That's how fucking weird it was. I'm watching it and I'm like, okay, what am I looking at here, and should I continue? Fucked up. And for those of you who have seen the beginning and have seen the film, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. I'm warning you. It's fucking weird. But once the movie kicks in, give it up to 20 minutes. Be fair on this one. 20 minutes, believe me, you're in. You're hooked. You'll keep watching, and you will love the fact that you continued watching. Obviously, from the way I'm talking about this one, bing, 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 5 stars. Fuck yeah. Nocturnal Animals, incredible. The direction was unbelievable. The story was incredible. And you just watch it at the end of the film, and when you might have to go to YouTube to get an explanation of the ending, because when you see the ending, you're like, wow, great fucking movie. So there you go. So there is a 5-star in this pile. Okay, the next movie, The Boss Baby. You know, I was curious to see this one because a little while back, Shannon was over, and I was so tired I went to sleep. And I had The Boss Baby on my hard drive, and she watched it, and as I was falling asleep, I hear her laughing her ass off, so I'm like, oh, alright, maybe this one's worth watching. So I watched it. It was cute. Let's just put it that way. It was a cute film. It wasn't hysterical. I mean, I did have a couple of good laughs. There's actually one scene that made me actually LOL, as these fucking idiots like to say. No, I laughed out loud. It was that good. The one thing that I really liked about this movie was the baby himself. Because when he spoke, the lip movement, brilliant. And his facial expressions, brilliant. Alec Baldwin as the baby killed me. I was like, this is fucking great. So initially, I didn't really like the film to begin with. But as because I watched it again just to make sure, that my feelings would stay the same or change. And they changed, because the second time I saw it, I actually appreciated it a little bit more. There's a lot of cool concepts, and it was actually very well done. So, but I'm not amazing, but I will give this one 4 stars. 4 stars for this one. It was definitely entertaining, obviously for children, but adults can enjoy this one too, because, and when you watch kids' movies, especially animated films, obviously the adults are going to be watching this with kids, so the stories are obviously written with adults in mind, my personal opinion. So it's good for everybody. This is one of those movies that you can watch and the whole family can enjoy. Little ones will enjoy pretty colors, and the adults will enjoy it because of the story. So anyway, next. Alright, here we go. Yeah, my neighbors are gonna love me. It's 8 o'clock in the morning. No, they're all awake. Anyways, the next one, The Imitation Game. Yes, The Imitation Game. Saw it with my lady. I should have called her on this one, but she hasn't seen some of the other ones, so there were only like 2 or 3 here that she has seen. But The Imitation Game, I must say, it was based on a true story, so I'm not really giving anything away. It says right at the beginning of the movie. And I sort of put 2 and 2 together when I was watching it. Because, you know, at the end, sometimes they show the little blurps, you know, and I kind of figured it out. And I even said it to Shannon while we were watching it. I'd say within, like, you know, once the movie started piecing together, I said, you know what, I think this is based on the story of blah, blah, blah. And she turned around and she was like going, you sure? And I'm like, yeah, I'm pretty sure. So I kind of figured where it was going. They went in a direction, though, within the third quarter of the film, which I was sort of like, oh god, here we go. It was one of those things where it's like, fuck, here we go. But the movie itself, the story was very well executed, and Cumberbatch, great job. I mean, I admire his acting in this one a lot, because you really felt for this character, meaning, like, his personality was fucking perfect. Like, I'm like, this is a perfect movie for Cumberbatch. And the funny thing is, the whole time I'm listening to him, all I can think of is Smog. Like, fucking dude. I was like, ah. But anyways, great movie. I actually enjoyed this one better than Doctor Strange, only because I'm not the biggest fan of that particular Marvel film, which I'm getting to the big one. That's right. I'm getting to the big one. If you guys have counted correctly, you'll know exactly which one is next. And yes, I'm forewarning you, I might go off on this one. So anyway, Imitation Game, to give it a rating, which obviously I do, I would say a very, very strong 4. Why it's not a 5? Again, 3/4 of the film in, or probably before the 3/4 marker, it kind of went in a weird direction. I was like, okay, you guys didn't have to go there, but you did. All right, okay, where's this going? But all in all, it was very well executed. I really enjoyed the movie, and like I said, Cumberbatch's performance, amazing. Like, I mean, he was the guy, like, that he was basing the character, like, the real life event on. And, I mean, I don't know the guy, never saw him, but, I mean, just his mannerisms and the way he talked and all that, very well done. Again, strong 4, very strong 4, almost a 5, almost getting there, but it's a strong 4. Alright guys, you ready for this one? Because I've gone off on this one a couple of times already, and I mean, okay, well, Black Panther. Alright, here we go. I have gone off on this one quite a bit, and I'm talking during my Facebook Live. I actually went off big time on my show. Here we go. I'm going to try to maintain some sort of calmness, but this is why the show is called Unleashed, because I can actually talk about it. Okay, here we go. We did talk about it, though, on the show, so I will give credit. We did talk about it on the Morgado Show, and actually we briefly mentioned it last night. I'm going to offend somebody. I already know I am. Okay, somebody's going to get pissed off about this. But I'm going to fucking say it because I'm that fucking sick of the bullshit. Alright? Here we go. I'm sick and fucking tired of the fact that people have to force feed films down our fucking throats. Okay? The whole racism bullshit surrounding this fucking movie was stupid. Okay? Don't guilt trip me into watching a fucking movie. Alright? This is not the first black superhero. Okay? Black Panther is not the first black superhero. Yes, all black cast. Fair enough. Not all. They had the 2 token white guys. If you guys get the joke, you'll understand what I'm talking about. But it was... We had Blade, okay? Even though Blade Trinity was a piece of shit, he was a superhero. As Todd said in my video, in my live segment, he said anti-superhero. But doesn't matter. Hero is still in there. The word hero is still in there. He may be an anti-hero, but he's still a fucking hero. Okay? So that's all bullshit. Don't fucking force feed this whole racism shit down my throat. First black hero, first black... Big fucking deal. Look how long it took for fucking Wonder Woman to get a goddamn movie. I'm sorry, but that one was a lot more anticipated and a lot more build-up than fucking Black Panther. Sure, I will give credit to the fact that, yes, first black superhero, obviously in this day and age, and a very positive role model. Yes, 100%. I will 100% agree with that. But don't fucking force feed this shit using racism as a tactic to get people to go watch the fucking movie. Now here's the thing, and someone brought this up to me. I'm not going to say who it was, but someone brought up a very interesting point to me. They said, how is this going to benefit the black community? Are they going to get any money out of this? No. You know who's going to get the money? To quote Chris Rock, the white man. Because everything's alright if it's all white. Alright? So enough with this fucking bullshit. The white guy's gonna profit off of this. Yes, Marvel Entertainment is owned by a white guy. Yes, it was directed by a fucking black director. I forget his fucking name. I actually knew his name and I totally forgot it. But, fuck off. Okay? Bullshit. Don't start with this fucking racism bullshit. It's like with Ghostbusters, the exact same thing. The new Ghostbusters. Oh, if you don't watch this movie, you're against women. I'm like, no, I'm against a bad fucking movie. I enjoyed the movie though. Now here's my review on the film. Wash away all the black, all the dirt surrounding this fucking movie, which I refused to pay to go watch. I said there is no fucking way in hell I'm gonna pay to go watch this film. I was gonna see it in the theater. I was going to. I had a friend of mine who was gonna like hook me up with a free pass, and then he offered it to me and I said, you know what, no. I'm not going to the theater to see this fucking thing. Yes, I downloaded it. That's right, you heard me, because I refused to fucking pay for it. Because of all the bullshit. And like I said, you wash away all the black. You wash away the fucking dirt. You wash all that shit away, you got a plain story superhero film. I wasn't the biggest fan of Ant-Man, and I wasn't the biggest fan of Doctor Strange. Not my favorite films. I put them on the same level as Black Panther. It was a plain superhero film. It was plain. Plain. It did not impress me. I'm sitting there and I'm like, come on, let's go. Yeah, there were a lot of good scenes. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying there wasn't. There were a couple of cool scenes in that fucking movie. Tons of cool scenes. It was very cool. There was a lot of stuff that was awesome. And I have to say, but I wasn't impressed with Michael B. Jordan's character. Someone actually said to me that the other day, and I'm like, I love the guy. Dude, Creed was incredible. That movie was definitely one of my favorite Rocky films. I mean, I gotta do a review on all the Rocky films. You know what? I was actually thinking about this, and I may actually do a drinking and yakking again and do all the Rocky films, but anyway, that's another story. But Apollo, incredible. I loved Michael B. Jordan in that movie. He saved Fantastic Four, and then you see him in this one, and he's supposed to be the main bad guy, and you're like, okay. What really pisses me off, and I'm afraid this is gonna happen because of all this racial whatever. And here's my point about the whole racism thing. People, stop fucking talking about racism. That's the only way it's ever gonna fucking go away. If you shut the fuck up, maybe it might disappear. It might vanish. No, the fact you keep fucking harping constantly, over and over again with this fucking racism bullshit, it's never gonna fucking go away. We're in the fucking 20th century, for fuck's sakes. Let's grow up, people. Stop bringing up this fucking racism bullshit to try to guilt me into watching a movie that I was gonna fucking watch anyway, but didn't watch because of all the stupidity surrounding it. I forgot where I was going with that other point now. Fuck me. My brain is just so worked up about this fucking movie that... So anyway, going back to Michael B. Jordan, I wasn't impressed. I was actually very, very much let down because I was expecting so much. Like, I thought for sure, okay, yeah, he's in the movie. It's going to be a fucking great... Oh! I was going to bring up the Oscars. I hate to say this, and I've said this to a bunch of people, and they don't believe me, but I can fucking see it coming. You may not believe me either. I would not be surprised, especially after the fucking piece of shit movie that won last year, Moonlight, if this fucking movie was nominated for an Oscar. I'm not going to say it's winning, because a comic film winning an Oscar, unheard of. The only sci-fi fantasy that ever made it was Lord of the Rings, and man, what a great year that was. I really enjoyed that year. But no, this movie, I can see it being nominated. And not for special effects. Not for the typical bullshit that the Oscars nominate these movies for. No, I see this nominated for Best Picture. Why? Because of what I said earlier. Moonlight fucking won, and that fucking movie was horrible! It had potential. I'm watching it within the first half, or the first third, because it's a 3-part film. Garbage. So anyway, okay, sorry, this has been sitting here for a long time. What do I rate this movie? Pretty much what I rated Ant-Man, what I rated Doctor Strange. I will give it a very weak 4. There's my rating. It was a good film, but because of all the stupidness that surrounded it, it kind of ruined it for me. So you know what? Fuck you. I'm taking that rating down to a 3. Don't fucking do that shit. Don't fucking ruin a movie like that. That's my bottom line. Okay? 3. Done. Alright. Gone. Thank you for joining me. I'm sorry if I got emotional, but in all honesty, this shit sickens me. And you know what kills me the most is the fact that the film industry especially has taken a major downfall because of the fact that not just downloading, in all honesty, that really has nothing to do with it. It's the fact that it's become so saturated. Jesus Christ, think about this for a second, if you will, and this is one of my main points after all this. Think of how many of these superhero films, sci-fi films, action films, whatever the fuck you want to put into that category, geek films, if you want to call it that, have come out in the past 3 years alone. Add them up for me, if you will. And please, put that number down in the comment section, because when you see that number, it will disappoint you on how fucking many of these have come out. The quality has taken a downward spiral, and it's very disappointing. And that's pretty much all I have to say about that. That's all I got to say about that. Oh, actually, one more thing. Going back to Black Panther, the only thing I kept referring to as a joke, and I even said this on my live Facebook bits a couple of times, all I think of is Forrest Gump. When he's in the middle of it and he turns around and he goes, "I'm sorry if I ruined your Black Panther party." That's pretty much the only thing I think of when I think of Black Panther now. Thank you. I know I've probably pissed off a bunch of people with my review on this video. Quite frankly, I'm sorry, but I couldn't care less. If it offends you, oh well, grow a sack. Or grow a vagina, depending on what sex you are. Okay? I'm sorry, but if you can't handle the truth, then fuck off. Okay? I'm sorry, but fuck off. That's actually a weird way to put it, but that's pretty much how I feel. I mean, I do appreciate the fact that you're watching. I don't know if you've made it this long. You probably tuned out because you didn't want to hear my fucking point, and that's usually the issue, because a lot of people aren't willing to listen nowadays. But if you did hear what I had to say, I do make a good point about this whole racism bullshit. Yes, I'm going to toot my own horn. Stop fucking harping on it, man. Enjoy the fucking movie. It's there for entertainment purposes, not for a political stand. Yes, some films are political stands, but this is a fucking Marvel film based on an imaginary character in an imaginary fucking country. It's like, come on, man. Like, fuck off. Again, you know what? I have to end the video. You know, I'd like to end it on a positive note, but I can't end all my videos on a positive note. But I do thank you for watching. If you have a little bit of extra cash and you're able to donate to the Del Morgado Show, please do. I would love to do this full time. I kind of feel like I am now with the amount of hours I'm putting into this, but I would love to do it full time. And if you have any extra cash you can spare once a month, you can donate as little as $1 or up to as much as you desire if you really like my shows and my content. And I am offering advertising for these videos. I can place it right here. I can place it throughout the video, and you can see your advertising for whichever company. It's part of my package on Patreon if you go through all the different tiers that I have to offer. Oh my god, one more quick thing. I was gonna just do movie reviews, but this is something else that kind of pissed me off. It's not a happy note again. Okay, so let me do all the advertising, and then I'll just end after I mention this little thing. And I've got a photo to prove this. Okay, so you can also subscribe to onlyfans.com/Del Morgado Show, and it's $9.99 per month. It's a monthly subscription. You can cancel at any time, and that's pretty much it. However you found me, leave a comment. Let me know how you found me. If you found me on YouTube, Patreon, OnlyFans, any of the above, Facebook, which is DFH Studios, or like facebook.com/DFH Studios, or facebook.com/Del Morgado Show. You can find me on Twitter at DFH Studios and at Del Morgado Show as well. Okay, one last thing. I'm not going to mention that again. That's it, because you can rewind if you want to get the details. One last thing. For those of you who know me, I am a ride-sharing, I guess you could say expert. No. Okay, I have to complain about the GPS system. I'm sure that a lot of you who have taken ride-sharing have probably questioned the app in some way, or the GPS system in some way. I think it's the dumbest fucking GPS system I've ever dealt with. I would rather much prefer Google. A lot of people talk about Waze. I have a TomTom, so I've never downloaded Waze. TomTom is fantastic, and it's an actual GPS unit, like, you know, old school. Like, I've had that thing for longer than I had my camera. So anyways, I'm going to pick up this gentleman, all right? And the GPS shows me this. For those of you who can't read a map, let me explain what it was telling me to do, all right? It was telling me to go straight, go down, and go around to where he was. Do you see what I'm saying? And that isn't the first time that happened. That same night, I didn't get a screenshot of it, but that same night, same thing. It was like it took me on this route from... Okay, we can get rid of that. It took me on this route, okay? It was basically, you can go this way, this way, this way. It took me this way, down, through the tunnel, right? I'm like, what the fuck? Like Arnold would say, what the hell is wrong with you? Alright, there you go. I tried to end it on a positive. Oh, actually, I did this on my live videos, so I'm going to do it right now. Just because I have too much fun doing it. This will be a perfect way to end the video, and I'm actually going to end the video like this. So thank you guys for joining us, and for your viewing pleasure.
I am the almighty bunghole. I need tippy. Yeah, you have tippy? Tippy for my bunghole?